I think everyone deserves to know the truth about Emma. Lauren's voice cut through the birthday celebration like a knife. She stood at the head of the table, wine glass trembling in her hand, tears already forming in her eyes. My husband's birthday dinner fell silent. 20 faces turned toward me. I've stayed quiet for too long, but I can't watch her destroy this family anymore. My fork clattered against my plate. The room spun. What was happening? Lauren took money from Mom and Dad. She continued, her voice breaking. She stole jewelry. She's been lying to all of us for years, manipulating everyone, especially Nathan. My husband sat frozen beside me, his face unreadable. I reached for his hand, but he pulled away. That's not true, I whispered, but my voice disappeared into the shocked silence. Lauren dabbed her eyes with a napkin. I have proof. Bank statements. Messages. I didn't want to believe it either, but she looked directly at me, and for just a second, I saw something cold and calculated behind those tears. My mother-in-law leaned forward, her expression hard. Emma, is this true? My name is Emma Peterson. I'm 31 years old, from Columbus, Ohio, and until that moment, I thought I had a good life. Before I continue, please subscribe to this channel for more fascinating stories like this one. You won't believe how this ends. I try to speak, but my throat had closed. No, I would never. Nathan, you know me. My husband wouldn't look at me. His mother placed her hand on his shoulder protectively. Lauren continued crying, accepting comfort from my aunt, my cousins, even Nathan's sister. I watched my life collapse in real time. I just needed everyone to know, Lauren sobbed. I couldn't let her keep hurting people I love. I stood up, my chair scraping loudly. None of this is true. Lauren, why are you doing this? But she just cried harder. My father-in-law stood. Emma, perhaps you should leave. Let's discuss this when everyone's calmer. Leave? This is my husband's birthday. These are lies. Nathan finally spoke, his voice quiet and cold. Emma, please. Just go. We'll talk at home. I grabbed my purse with shaking hands and walked out, feeling 20 pairs of eyes burning into my back. Behind me, I heard Lauren's voice, soft and victorious. I'm so sorry. I know this ruined everything. The drive home took forever. My phone stayed silent. Usually, after family dinners, the group chat exploded with messages and photos. Tonight, nothing. I checked 3 times, thinking my phone had died. It hadn't. They were all talking, just not to me. I sat in our driveway for 20 minutes, trying to understand what had just happened. Lauren and I had our differences, sure. She'd been jealous when I married Nathan, upset when our parents seemed to approve of my choices more than hers. But this? Public destruction? When Nathan finally came home 2 hours later, he walked past me without speaking. I followed him upstairs. Nathan, we need to talk about this. I need space, Emma. He grabbed his pillow from our bed. Space? Your stepsister just accused me of crimes in front of your entire family, and you need space. He stopped at the doorway. Did you take money from your parents? No. How can you even ask me that? Lauren seemed pretty sure. Lauren is lying. He shook his head. I don't know what to believe right now. I just need to think. The guest room door closed between us. I heard the lock click. The next morning, I found Nathan at the kitchen table, our laptop open in front of him. Bank statements covered the screen. What are you doing? Checking our accounts. He didn't look up. For what? Missing money. Unusual transactions. Anything that doesn't make sense. My stomach dropped. You're investigating me? Your wife. Lauren said there would be signs. She said you've been hiding things for months. His voice was mechanical, distant, like he was talking to a stranger. I sat down across from him, forcing myself to stay calm. What else did Lauren say? That you've been manipulating people for years. That you're good at making yourself look innocent. That Mom and Dad are worried about their savings. He finally looked at me, and I barely recognized the suspicion in his eyes. She warned me this would happen. That you deny everything and make her look like the bad guy. When did she warn you? 3 months ago. Maybe longer. She's been dropping hints, saying she was worried about you, about us. 3 months. Lauren had been poisoning my marriage for 3 months, and I hadn't even known. I drove to Lauren's apartment that afternoon. She answered the door in yoga pants, looking surprised and innocent. Emma, what are you doing here? You know exactly why I'm here. What you said last night was a lie. All of it. She glanced past me, checking if anyone was watching. Come inside. We shouldn't do this in the hallway. I followed her in, my fists clenched. The moment the door closed, I turned on her. Why are you doing this to me? Doing what? Her voice was soft, confused. Emma, I was only trying to help. I know you're going through something, and I thought if everyone knew. Knew what? Your lies? Tears filled her eyes instantly. You're scaring me right now. This is exactly what I was afraid of. Stop crying. Stop pretending. You stood up at Nathan's birthday and destroyed my reputation with lies, and you know it. She backed away from me, her hand on her phone. I think you should leave. You're not thinking clearly. Maybe you need help. I need help? You're the one making up stories. Later that night, my mother called. Emma, Lauren said you came to her apartment and threatened her. She's very upset. I didn't threaten anyone. Mom, she's lying about everything. Then why is she so scared? Why are you acting this way? I realized then how perfectly Lauren had set this up. Anything I did to defend myself would be used as proof of instability. My parents invited both of us to Sunday dinner. The message was clear. Make peace or lose your family. I sat at their dining table, Lauren across from me, playing the wounded victim perfectly. I think Emma should apologize, Lauren said quietly. I forgive her for yesterday, but the family deserves to hear her say she's sorry. My mother nodded. Emma, this has gone far enough. Whatever issues you're dealing with, taking them out on Lauren isn't the answer. I looked around the table. My father wouldn't meet my eyes. My aunt looked disappointed. Even my younger brother seemed unsure. If I didn't apologize, I'd lose them all. If I did, I'd be admitting to lies. I'm sorry. I finally said, the words like acid in my mouth. I shouldn't have confronted you like that. Lauren smiled, reaching across the table to squeeze my hand. I forgive you. I know you're struggling. We all just want to help you get better. Everyone relaxed. My mother actually smiled. They praised Lauren's forgiving heart and patience with difficult family members. I sat there, nodding, agreeing, dying inside. When no one was looking, Lauren caught my eye. The smile she gave me was cold and victorious. She'd won, and she knew it. Nathan started working late. Really late. Some nights, he didn't come home until after I'd gone to bed. When we were together, he watched me like I might steal something. He asked questions that felt like interrogations. Where did you go today? Who did you talk to? Why did you need cash? One evening, he asked about my college roommate. You said you lost touch with Jessica. But Lauren said you borrowed money from her and never paid it back. That's not true. Jessica and I drifted apart naturally. I never borrowed anything. So Lauren's lying again? His tone said he didn't believe me. Yes. She's been lying about everything. He rubbed his face, tired. Everyone can't be wrong, Emma. My mom, my sister, your parents, Lauren, they all see something. Maybe you can't see it yourself. See what? That I'm some kind of criminal? Nathan, you've known me for 6 years. Have I ever stolen anything? Ever lied to you about money? I don't know anymore. Lauren said you'd be convincing. That you'd make me doubt reality. He stood up, grabbing his keys. Maybe we should separate for a while. Give each other space to think clearly. You want to separate? My voice broke. Our marriage is falling apart because of her lies, and you want to separate? He didn't answer. He just walked out. I couldn't sleep that night. Around 2 in the morning, I heard voices outside. Our apartment building had thin walls. I recognized Lauren's voice coming from the unit below, where her boyfriend lived. They were arguing. You promised this would work. Her boyfriend sounded angry. You said once Emma was out of the picture, we'd have access to her parents' money. Now you're saying it's taking longer? It's complicated, Derek. I have to be careful. If I push too hard, people will notice. You've been working on this for 6 months. When do we actually see results?
Soon.
Nathan's already doubting her. Once they divorce, Emma will be completely cut off from the family money. Then I'm the only daughter they trust. My heart stopped. I pressed my ear against the floor. What about her inheritance? Derek asked. You said she was getting a huge payout from her grandmother's estate. Lauren laughed. Not anymore. I already handled that. After I convinced them Emma was unstable with money, they changed the will. I'm executor now. Once everything processes, we'll have access to almost $500,000. I sat up slowly, my mind racing. This wasn't about jealousy or family drama. This was about money. My money. My inheritance. I called my parents' attorney the next morning. Hi, Mr. Foster. This is Emma Peterson. I have some questions about my grandmother's will. There was a long pause. Emma, I'm not sure I should discuss this with you. Your parents specifically asked me to handle everything through Lauren now. Through Lauren? Why? Another pause. They were concerned about some financial issues you've been having. Lauren suggested it would be better if she managed the estate distribution. Prevented any complications. What financial issues? I don't have financial issues. Emma, I'm sorry, but I really should direct these questions to your parents. Or to Lauren, since she's now the executor. I hung up and immediately pulled up my grandmother's original will on my computer. I'd saved a copy years ago. According to the original document, I was supposed to inherit $400,000 and my grandmother's house. Lauren got $50,000. Now, apparently, Lauren controlled everything. I called my mother. Mom, did you change Grandma's will? Lauren thought it was best, honey. She explained that you weren't in a good place financially, that you might waste the inheritance. We thought having her as executor would protect you from yourself. Protect me? Mom, I have a stable job, savings, and no debt. What did Lauren tell you? That you've been borrowing money from friends. That you and Nathan are having serious financial problems. That you asked her for $50,000 last year. I never asked her for anything. She's lying. Emma, please don't start this again. We made the decision we thought was best. Lauren has your best interests at heart. After we hung up, I sat staring at the wall. Lauren had systematically destroyed my reputation, poisoned my marriage, and stolen my inheritance. And everyone believed her. I stopped defending myself. When Nathan's mother called to ask pointed questions about missing family heirlooms, I just said I didn't know anything about it. When my father mentioned he'd heard I was in credit card debt, I didn't correct him. When Lauren posted on social media about supporting family members through difficult times, I didn't comment. People assumed my silence meant guilt, or acceptance, or shame. I didn't care anymore what they thought. I was done explaining, defending, and begging to be believed. Instead, I started watching, listening, taking notes. Lauren grew bolder. She started showing up at family events with expensive jewelry, new designer bags, talking about her investments. She smiled more, laughed louder. She'd won, and she was celebrating. But I noticed small things. The way she checked her phone constantly during conversations. How she'd tense up when anyone mentioned finances. The practiced way she cried. Always the same timing, the same phrases, the same dabbing of eyes. My aunt pulled me aside at a family barbecue. Emma, I wanted to say I'm proud of you for getting help. For accepting that you need to work on yourself. I just smiled. Thank you, Aunt Patricia. Lauren's been such a support to your parents through this. You're lucky to have a sister who cares so much. I am lucky, I agreed, watching Lauren across the yard. She was talking to my mother, probably planting more seeds. Very lucky indeed. I started going through old files on my computer. Emails, messages, photos from years ago. In a folder labeled college, I found something interesting. Messages between Lauren and me from 7 years ago. She'd been begging me for money. Desperately. Emma, please, I know I already owe you from last time, but I'm in real trouble. Derek's going to leave me if I can't pay rent. Can you spot me $2,000? I swear I'll pay you back. I'd sent her the money. She'd never paid me back. There were dozens of messages like this. Lauren borrowing money for rent, for car repairs, for credit card bills. Always promising to repay, never following through. The last message was from 5 years ago. Stop asking me for money back. I'm your sister. Family doesn't keep score. But now she was telling everyone I was the one with money problems. I printed every message, organized them by date, and put them in a folder. It wasn't much, but it was a start. The girl who borrowed $20,000 from me over 3 years was now calling me financially irresponsible. I kept searching. In my email archives, I found more evidence. Conversations about Lauren's gambling problem. An email from Derek's sister warning me that Lauren was using my name to get loans from friends. A message from my college roommate asking why Lauren told people I'd stolen from her. Every lie had left a trail. I just had to follow it. I started calling relatives I hadn't spoken to in months. Not to complain or explain, just to listen. My cousin Bailey seemed uncomfortable when I called, but she talked. Everyone's worried about you, Emma. But I have to say, some of Lauren's stories seemed kind of extreme. Like what? I asked casually. Like the thing about you stealing Mom's bracelet. I was there when Mom lost it. She left it at the restaurant. We found it later. I don't know why Lauren said you took it. I wrote that down. Maybe she misunderstood. Maybe. But there were other things too. She said you crashed your car drunk last year, but I saw your insurance records when I helped you file the claim. You were sober. The other driver ran a red light. Small doubts. Little inconsistencies. I planted seeds carefully, never pushing, just letting people talk. My uncle mentioned that Lauren had borrowed his credit card for Emma's emergency, but he'd never gotten the money back. My cousin's husband remembered Lauren asking him to lie about seeing me at a casino. The lies were spreading too wide. Lauren was getting sloppy and people were starting to notice. But I didn't push. I just listened, took notes, and thanked them for caring about me. One aunt said quietly, something never added up about that birthday dinner. Lauren had that whole speech prepared, like she'd been practicing. I smiled. Thank you for telling me that. Work became my sanctuary. While my personal life crumbled, my career flourished. I got a major promotion to senior financial analyst with a 40% salary increase. My boss praised my attention to detail and trustworthiness. The irony wasn't lost on me. When Lauren heard about the promotion, she called immediately. Her voice was sweet, concerned. Emma, I heard about your job. That's wonderful news. I'm so proud of you for turning things around. Thanks, Lauren. We should celebrate. Maybe dinner this weekend? Just us sisters? We met at an expensive restaurant. Lauren ordered wine and appetizers, talking about how happy she was that I was doing better. Then she got to the point. So, with your new salary, you must be making pretty good money now? It's comfortable, I said carefully. I'm actually in a bit of a situation. Derek and I are trying to buy a house, and we're just short on the down payment. I was wondering if you could help us out. Maybe $20,000? I'd pay you back once the estate settles. I smiled. The estate that you're now executor of? The one where you convinced Mom and Dad I couldn't handle money? Her face froze for just a second. That was for your own good, Emma. You know that. Did you tell Derek about my promotion? Of course. Why? Just wondering how he knew to start pricing houses right after my raise was announced. That's all. She laughed, but it sounded forced. You're being paranoid. Can you help us or not? No, Lauren. I can't. Her smile disappeared. After everything I've done for you? Supporting you through your problems? Defending you to the family? Yeah, I said quietly. After everything you've done for me. I started investigating Lauren's finances. Public records showed she'd taken out multiple personal loans in the past year. Court records revealed she'd been sued twice for unpaid debts. I found loan applications where she'd listed me as a reference, claiming I'd vouched for her character. I'd never been contacted by any lender. The most interesting discovery came from my bank's fraud department. 6 months ago, someone had tried to open a credit card in my name. The application was denied due to inconsistent information, but a copy had been flagged. I requested the file. The handwriting on the application looked familiar. The phone number listed was Lauren's old number. The email address was similar to mine, Just one letter different. She'd tried to steal my identity. It hadn't worked, but she tried. I filed a report with the bank, got all the documentation, and added it to my growing folder. Every piece of evidence was dated, copied, and stored in 3 different locations. I wasn't going to lose this information. I also discovered that Lauren had been using my name to get favors from family members. She'd borrowed money from my uncle on Emma's behalf. She'd gotten my cousin to co-sign a loan because Emma was helping her out but had bad credit. She'd collected thousands of dollars using my name as cover. The web was bigger than I'd imagined, and it was all documented. The credit card attempt was documented in detail. I visited the bank in person and requested a full fraud investigation. The manager pulled up the file. This application was flagged immediately because the social security number didn't match the name on the credit report. Someone clearly tried to use your information but didn't have all the right details. Can you tell me when and where this was submitted? She checked. Online submission, 6 months ago. The IP address was traced to Columbus, registered to a Derek Matheson, Lauren's boyfriend. They tried to open a credit card in my name using Derek's computer. I got copies of everything, the application, the IP trace, the fraud alert, the denial letter. It was all there. Clear proof of attempted identity theft. Do you want to press charges? The manager asked. Not yet, I said. But I want this documented officially. I filed a police report that afternoon. Not to prosecute yet, but to create an official record. The officer took my statement, looked at the evidence, and seemed genuinely concerned. Ma'am, this is serious. Identity theft carries criminal penalties. I know. I just want it on record for now. If you change your mind about prosecution, you have all the documentation you need. I thanked him and left with copies of the police report. Lauren didn't know about this yet. She thought her failed attempt had disappeared into bureaucratic nowhere. She had no idea I'd found it. This evidence alone could destroy her. But I wasn't ready to use it yet. Nathan came home early one afternoon. I was in the kitchen, and he stood in the doorway looking uncomfortable. Emma, we need to talk. Okay. He sat down heavily. Lauren told me something 6 months ago. She said you were going to try to drain me financially, that you'd married me for my family's money and would eventually clean me out. He looked at his hands. I didn't want to believe her, but everything she predicted started happening. You became distant, secretive, defensive. Because you started investigating me like a criminal, I said quietly. I know, and I'm ashamed of that. But Emma, I need to know something. He finally looked at me. Did you ever love me? Or was Lauren right? I could have yelled, could have cried, could have begged him to believe me. Instead, I stood up and got my laptop. I opened my bank records. Look at these. Every deposit, every withdrawal, every transaction for the past 5 years. Show me where I took your money. He looked through them slowly. His expression changed. There's nothing here. No, there isn't. Because I never took anything from you. I've been paying half our bills since we got married. Sometimes more than half when you were between jobs. I pulled out my folder. Want to see who's actually been taking money? Look at these loan applications Lauren filed using my name. Look at the credit card she tried to open. Look at the messages where she borrowed $20,000 from me and never paid it back. Nathan stared at the documents. When did you find all this? I've been investigating for weeks. While you doubted me, I was collecting proof. He looked up and I saw tears in his eyes. I'm so sorry, Emma. I should have believed you. I should have defended you. Yes, I said. You should have. Do you still love me? His voice broke. After everything I put you through, do you still love me? I sat down across from him. I don't know, Nathan. I honestly don't know anymore. Nathan didn't beg me to forgive him. Instead, he asked to see all the evidence. I showed him some of it, not everything, but enough. The messages, the loan applications, the timeline of Lauren's lies. He read through it all in silence, his face growing paler with each page. Why didn't you show me this before? He finally asked. Would you have believed me? Or would you have thought I faked it? He nodded slowly. I would have doubted it. Lauren had me so convinced. He looked at me. She's been planning this for a long time, hasn't she? At least 6 months. Probably longer. And I helped her. I pushed you away. I investigated you. I made you apologize for things you didn't do. He put his head in his hands. God, Emma. I destroyed our marriage for her.
Yes.
You did. How do I fix this? I closed the folder. I don't know if you can, but if you want to try, you need to actually listen to me now. Not Lauren. Not your mother.
Me.
He nodded. I'm listening. Lauren is planning something bigger. She's already taken control of my inheritance.
She's turned my family against me.
She's isolated me from everyone. And she's not done yet. What do you think she's planning? I don't know, but I'm going to find out. And when I do, I'm going to stop her. Nathan reached for my hand. I let him take it, but I didn't squeeze back. Trust, once broken, doesn't heal overnight. I'm with you, he said. Whatever you need, I'm with you now. I know I don't deserve another chance, but I'm asking for one anyway. I looked at our joined hands. We'll see. Just when things seemed to be stabilizing, Lauren struck again. She called my parents crying, claiming I'd shown up at her apartment at 3 a.m, screaming threats. She said I'd tried to force my way inside. That Derek had to call security. That she was terrified. My mother called me immediately. Emma, this has to stop. Lauren filed a police report. She's getting a restraining order. Mom, I wasn't at her apartment. I was home all night with Nathan. Nathan would lie for you.
No, Mom.
Nathan will tell you the truth. Call him. Right now. There was silence. Then, the family is planning an intervention. Thanksgiving dinner. Everyone will be there. We're going to get you the help you need, whether you want it or not. An intervention. For things I didn't do. Based on lies from someone who'd been systematically destroying my life. I hung up and looked at Nathan. She's making her final move. Thanksgiving is in 2 weeks. That's when she'll try to finish me off. Nathan nodded. Then we have 2 weeks to get ready. Not we.
Me.
This is my fight. No, he said firmly. It's our fight. I owe you this. Let me help. I thought about saying no, but I was tired of fighting alone. Okay, but we do this my way. Agreed. I opened my laptop. Then let's get everything organized. Every message, every document, every piece of evidence. We're going to that intervention, but we're bringing proof. We spent the next 2 weeks preparing. I organized everything chronologically. Lauren's original messages begging for money, the timeline of her lies, the loan applications using my name, the credit attempt, the fraud reports, bank statements showing I'd lent her $20,000, messages from family members confirming she'd borrowed money using my name as collusion. Everything was printed, labeled, and organized into a presentation folder. I made copies for every family member who'd be at Thanksgiving. Nathan helped me create a timeline on poster board, showing exactly when each lie was told and how it contradicted previous lies. We documented every inconsistency, every impossibility, every place where Lauren's stories didn't match reality. I practiced what I'd say. Nathan played devil's advocate, throwing out every objection my family might raise. We prepared for every argument, every excuse, every attempt to dismiss the evidence. I contacted witnesses, the bank manager who'd helped with the fraud investigation, the police officer who took my report, my college roommate who remembered Lauren's borrowing patterns. They all agreed to provide written statements if needed. The folder grew thicker, the evidence more damning. By the time Thanksgiving arrived, I had everything I needed to dismantle Lauren's lies piece by piece. I just needed 5 minutes to speak. 5 minutes before they could silence me again. Nathan squeezed my hand as we pulled into my parents' driveway. You ready? I picked up the folder. I've been ready for months. Everyone was already there when we arrived. The living room had been rearranged, chairs in a circle like an actual intervention. My parents, my aunt and uncle, my brother, Nathan's parents, and Lauren sat waiting. Lauren's eyes were red from crying. Of course they were. Emma, please sit down, my father said. His voice was gentle but firm, like he was talking to someone unstable. I sat. Nathan sat beside me. The folder stayed in my lap. My mother started. Emma, we're all here because we love you.
We're worried about you.
Your behavior over the past months has been concerning, and we think you need professional help. What behavior specifically? I asked calmly. Lauren spoke up, her voice shaking. The threats, the harassment, showing up at my apartment in the middle of the night. Emma, you're scaring me. I was home that night. Nathan can confirm it. Nathan would say anything to protect you, Lauren's boyfriend Derek said. We saw you. Security cameras caught you. Then show me the footage.
Silence.
There is no footage, I continued, because I wasn't there. Just like I didn't steal jewelry or borrow money I couldn't repay, or have financial problems, or do any of the other things Lauren has accused me of over the past 6 months. My mother shook her head. Emma, denial is the first sign that. I'm not in denial. I'm in possession of facts. And I'd like 5 minutes to share them before you all decide I'm the problem. My father sighed. Emma, we didn't come here to argue. 5 minutes, I said firmly. That's all I'm asking. 5 minutes to show you the truth. If you still think I need help after that, I'll listen. But you owe me 5 minutes. They looked at each other. Finally, my mother nodded.
Fine.
5 minutes. I opened my folder. Then, let's start with the money. I pulled out the first set of documents. Lauren told you I have financial problems. That I borrow money from friends and don't pay it back. Here are messages from 7 years ago showing Lauren borrowing $2,000 from me for rent. Here's another request for $1,500 and another for $3,000. Over 3 years, I lent Lauren $20,000. She never paid back a cent. I passed the printed messages around. My mother's face paled as she read them. She also told you I asked her for $50,000 last year. Here's my bank statement from that entire year. Show me where I needed money. I spread out the statements. In fact, here's the deposit from my promotion. And here's my savings account. If I'm in financial trouble, where did all this money come from? My uncle spoke up. But Lauren said you crashed your car drunk. I was hit by someone who ran a red light. Here's the police report. The other driver was cited. I passed a sobriety test. I handed him the document. Lauren told you I was drunk. The police said I was sober. Who's lying? Silence. Here's where it gets interesting. I continued. Lauren told several of you that she needed money to help me. Uncle Tom, she borrowed $5,000 from you, claiming it was for my emergency medical bills. I never had medical bills. Where did that money go? My uncle's face hardened. Lauren told me you were in the hospital. I've never been hospitalized as an adult. You can check my insurance records. I pulled out more documents. Cousin Bailey, Lauren used your credit card for Emma's emergency. That charge was for vacation in Miami. I was working in Columbus that week. Here's my timesheet. People started whispering. Lauren's face was getting red. These are small inconsistencies, my father said. Maybe misunderstandings. Then let's talk about the big ones. I pulled out the bank fraud documentation. 6 months ago, someone tried to open a credit card in my name. The application was submitted from Derek's computer using incorrect information. It was flagged as fraud. Here's the bank's investigation report. Here's the police report I filed. Here's the IP address trace. I handed the papers to Derek. His face went white. Lauren tried to steal my identity. When that didn't work, she started a different campaign, destroying my reputation so thoroughly that when she took control of my inheritance, no one would question it. I pulled out the will documents. My grandmother's original will left me $400,000 and her house. After Lauren convinced you I was financially irresponsible, you changed it. Lauren is now executor, controlling an estate that was supposed to be mine. Convenient, isn't it? My mother stood up. Emma, that's enough. These accusations aren't accusations. They're facts. Documented, dated, provable facts. I pulled out the final piece of evidence. Here are messages between Lauren and Derek from 2 months ago, discussing their plan to access my inheritance once I was completely cut off from the family money. I recorded them through my apartment floor. The audio file is timestamped and saved in 3 locations. Lauren finally spoke, her voice shaking. Those could be faked. All of this could be faked. Could it? All of it? The bank records? The police reports? The IP traces? The witness statements? The audio recordings? I faked everything, even though I'm supposedly too unstable to manage money. I looked around the room. Or maybe, just maybe, Lauren has been lying to all of you for months, systematically destroying my life to steal my inheritance.
People were looking at Lauren now.
Really looking. Her tears had stopped. Her hands were shaking. Someone asked her about the credit card attempt. I said quietly. My father turned to Lauren. Lauren, did you try to open a credit card in Emma's name? No, I don't, that's not. Her voice broke. But this time, no one rushed to come for her. The IP address came from your boyfriend's computer, I said. The application had your old phone number. The email was one letter off from mine. Either you tried to commit identity theft, or someone with access to all your information did. Which is it? Lauren looked at Derek. He looked away. What about the money you borrowed from Uncle Tom? My mother asked. Where did that go? I can explain. What about the will? My father's voice was hard now. Did you convince us to make you executor so you could control Emma's inheritance? You don't understand. Emma was going to waste it. I was protecting the family. From what? I asked quietly. From me having money you couldn't control? Lauren stood up suddenly. Fine. Yes. I borrowed money. Yes, I used your name. But only because you never helped me. You got everything. The good job, the perfect husband, the family's approval. What did I get? Nothing. It wasn't fair. So you decided to destroy my life to even the score? My voice stayed calm. You lied to my husband, poisoned my family against me, stole my inheritance, and tried to commit fraud in my name. Because things weren't fair? You deserved it. Lauren screamed. You always looked down on me. Always judged me. This was just making things balanced. The room went silent. Even Derek looked shocked. Lauren realized what she'd said, but it was too late. The mask had fallen. Everyone saw her now. Really saw her. My mother started crying. My father sat down heavily, looking 10 years older. Nathan's mother whispered, "Oh my God." Lauren looked around desperately. I didn't mean, everyone makes mistakes. You can't just... But no one was listening to her anymore. Lauren's breakdown was complete. She went from screaming to crying to begging in the span of minutes. Please, you have to understand, I was desperate. Derek was going to leave me. I needed the money. I didn't know what else to do. But Derek was already standing, backing away from her. I told you not to do this. I told you it would blow up. I'm done, Lauren. I'm not going to jail for you. He left. Just walked out. Lauren tried to follow, but my uncle blocked the door. You're not going anywhere until we sort this out. My father looked at me. Emma, I'm so sorry. We should have listened to you. We should have questioned her story. We should have believed you. Yes, I said simply. You should have. My mother was still crying. How do we fix this? The will, the family, everything she's destroyed. You start by changing the will back, I said. You remove Lauren as executor. You acknowledge publicly that she lied. And you accept that trust, once broken, takes time to rebuild. Lauren fell to her knees in front of me. Emma, please. I'm sorry. I'll make it right. I'll tell everyone the truth. Just please don't press charges. Please don't destroy me. I looked down at her, this person who'd tried so hard to erase me from my own life. Part of me wanted revenge, wanted to watch her face every consequence. But a bigger part of me just wanted peace. The charges are already filed, I said. The bank's fraud department has everything. The police have my report. Whether they prosecute isn't up to me anymore. Please. We're family. Family doesn't do what you did, Lauren. Family doesn't lie, steal, and manipulate for money. You're not my family. You're just someone I used to know. The aftermath took months. My parents changed the will back, giving me full control of my inheritance. They apologized publicly to everyone Lauren had manipulated using my name. Some relationships healed. Others didn't. I accepted both. Nathan and I went to counseling. He betrayed my trust, and rebuilding it was slow, painful work. But he showed up every session. He listened. He changed. 6 months later, I finally felt like I could trust him again. It wasn't the same as before. It was better, actually, built on honesty instead of assumption. Lauren faced consequences. The bank pressed charges for attempted fraud. My uncle sued for his money back. Derek's sister came forward with more evidence of manipulation. Lauren ended up with probation, community service, and a criminal record. She lost Derek, lost the family's trust, and lost access to everything she'd been planning to take. I didn't feel victorious watching her fall. I just felt tired. Tired of being angry, tired of defending myself, tired of carrying the weight of her lies.
So I let it go.
Not forgiveness, exactly. Just release. My career continued to thrive. I got another promotion, bought a house in my name alone, built a life that was mine, untouchable by people who wanted to use me. I maintained boundaries with my family, careful, clear, enforced boundaries. They respected them because they'd learned what happened when they didn't. A year later, I ran into Lauren at a grocery store. She looked smaller somehow, diminished. She started to speak, but I just walked past her. There was nothing left to say. She'd tried to erase me from my own life. Instead, she'd exposed herself. And I'd finally learned what I'd always been worth. Everything I'd worked for, and nothing less. My name is Emma Peterson. I'm 32 now, and I'm nobody's victim anymore.